Oh my goodness. Here I am. And Ariel. And Rosie. Tell them, if it could be challenging, if it could not work or act weird or get in the way or whatever, it was happening. So that's what happened. I tried 3 separate streams. Finally, here we are. She's been up my butt, right on my tail, right here. And when I'm finally like, come on, let's go, she's like, oh, I'll take forever to get to you. It's been one of them days. Hi, loves. Oh, it could just be dirty. Hold on. Can you hear me okay? That's better. Hello. Let me put it on live chat. Oops, that's not what I want. Brady, are you okay? I decided instead of taking any extra time to set up these last little things, I would just come on because it's taken me long enough at this point. Why do you insist on sitting there? That is not bird food. That is not bird food. It really isn't. It really isn't. That's soil. It's soil, Libby. It's not bird food. There you go. Okay. So anyway, as I was saying, how is everybody? Oh, look, I'm going to have antenna again today. I should have turned this around. My day's just been really fast. I should turn this around. Because, look, it's really pretty on this side. See? I've been working with my plants. Turn this down. How is everybody? Thank you for being so patient. I appreciate it. It's been crazy town up in here today. I'm telling you right now that it has felt more like a full moon than a new moon. It's had that kind of energy today. So 33 seconds into the feed. It is April 5th. It's 4/5/2019. It's the new moon. I am good. I'm a little, I feel the energy of kind of everything and everyone. And starting yesterday with the portal and the gate, it being 4/4, I started to feel that like slow, like push down, G-force to the ground, a little kind of like hard to stay on point and with my own thoughts. Raise your hand if you felt this way. Starting especially yesterday would have been more than today. Today made me feel a little tired, and definitely yesterday would have been a tired day as well. You may have slept a lot, either napped or gone to sleep early, stayed in bed longer, this kind of thing. Definitely. And that would have affected your animals as well. So if you notice your animals being really like, are you okay? You're sleeping all day, like all day. Then, and that's the effect gates have on us and our animals. It'll also affect plant life. So you might notice during dates, new moons, things like this, you go to sleep at night, you wake up the next day, things have grown at like more than normal. It's because we're raising in frequency and going into a higher, faster timeline. So things have jumped forward in time. Just a snack. So things are, you might be like, wow, that happened overnight. That'll tend to happen, especially on those days. So yesterday was one of those days where it just felt a bit more, it was a classic takeoff day for Portal Day. And this is what I want to talk about today a little bit, because I know not everybody knows about it or understands it. I know I am probably, from what I know, I don't watch really people in the spiritual community anymore. Or I haven't for a while. But as far as I know, what are you doing? You are doing something naughty. I know it. I will put you right. Yeah, look it. It's in your mouth. You're trying to chew on it. I know and talk about portals and gates on a level most people don't, and people don't talk about them mostly at all. They do about like the Lionsgate portal. That's one a year. But we have them every single month. And most people don't realize that. They see it like a new moon thing or a full moon thing, and that is in there as well. But we have a very other specific type of energy going on and thing that Gaia goes through. And she's talked about it before. So when I'm compelled to share and talk about this stuff, it's because it's pertinent information for you guys and the collective and for people who have their pulse on this sort of thing. And if you're here, then you're meant to know about it, you know? So please chime in. Well, let me read this first. But chime in with any questions you might have about, they're called gates / portals, timeline shifts, things like that. Those are the words and terms that I use to talk about them, because that's what other people use to talk about them. Gates, portals, timeline shifts. Yeah, that's usually quantum leaps. That's pretty much it. So ask me any questions that you may have about that. Because like I said, it's important, it's pertinent information. Okay, Sky says, I've been feeling so much more tired, like I've been doing work even though I haven't been doing anything. Exactly. I meditated with my crystals, and drinking water helps immensely with the pressure in my head. Very good. And ditto in multiplied by at least. Why do you keep doing that? You're so naughty. That's not to eat. You're so naughty. No. What's that? What's that? See, look, I'm getting feathers. It's been a little hairy around here with the bird and the new cats. Let's just say that is really effing guarded. Like, he's meant to live. Let's just put it that way, because I thought I've had here, or I don't want to get into it, but anyway. Spring is coming so quick, and I couldn't be more excited. I couldn't agree with you more. Spring is coming, and I couldn't be more excited. It is actually currently raining right here. It is really foggy, and I've known that it was going to rain on this day for like 5 days now. I mentioned it before that we get a lot of fluctuations in weather, especially in the summer. It might be extra hot or extra humid, or it just may rain as well. But we get a lot of water and rain during portal days, new moons, full moons, any kind of like equinox. What's the other thing? Solstice, holidays, specific holidays, things like that. So that's been a theme for a while. April says, okay, not to sound dumb, but what do you mean by the collective? Okay, sure, I can answer that. I'm both excited and slightly anxious for what's to come. The future feels so exponentially growing in brightness and intensity. Very true. Hi, beautiful Ariel. What a good bird. It's raining. In a few days, it's supposed to get up to 7. That's how it's supposed to be here, too. And rain a bunch and then dip down into the high of 30. Oh my God. High of that is a really fluctuation. That sucks. That's when, well, we have issues with, well, that's geoengineering. And that's when we have problems with Gaia fighting geoengineering, because she's trying to turn over into a new season, and they're going and throwing all this shit into the atmosphere to create much colder temperatures. So vegetation will start to sprout and grow, and then it'll get frozen. And this causes a lot of, let's just boil it down to heartache on different levels when people's crops or flowers or, you know, fruits and stuff, farmers and everything start, you know, things start to, you know, go 70. You get 70 for a few days and things just start popping. And then you dip down into, you know, even the 30-degree difference is a lot for things to handle. And this started the year before last and last year. People think it's global warming, and that literally makes no sense. And things are colder and wetter, and they kind of would be anyway, because Gaia's on that cycle, but they're making it worse. And that's a whole other discussion, how it's very much the whole mind control, bait and switch will cause issues with the weather, and then will deny there's anything wrong with the weather when people say, oh, it's warming, because that's what people think when they don't know about geoengineering and chemtrails and stuff like that. So those people go, it's obvious things are fucked up, when the government themselves are creating the problem. Even though this group and myself were not actively involved in fighting the geoengineering like we were starting with Florence back in September, because that puts a whole level of the balance that for what we have going on and what I need to be doing, and how that gets very distracting is not worth it. And they already know about me and you guys when it comes to that. And they've already made it very clear that they can make things much worse very quickly when it comes to what they create. And we're just not strong enough. We lost, hate to put it this way to you guys, but we lost a couple of our strongest alchemists, and we really couldn't recover from that. And so to be able to fight when we got hit, and then to fight with less people, and then for me to fight mostly by myself, is just not the time. So if anybody's actually been wondering about that, because I am aware of what's going on, weather-wise, and what is and isn't Gaia, and so on and so forth, but this is why I don't do that work anymore. And that's not to say that we won't get back to that at some point, but what I'm going to circle back to is, on your own, you can do what we did collectively and go as guided. So in your meditations, if you know of different, if you're guided to learn about different things happening globally on a on the weather scale, and if you're got your pulse on the beat of not the mainstream media information and news, but the people who you should be watching. I'm trying to think of the name of the channel, but there's a couple of channels that you'll get information about, and you'll hear about things going on in the world that you wouldn't otherwise. There's websites as well. So if you're guided in those directions, I would definitely suggest that you, when you meditate, or to meditate specifically for that, like we did in the past. And if you have questions about that, you can ask me. I'm just not doing, like, we're gonna work on taking care of this, hurricane. Oh my God. Hurricane Birdie. He stayed on that thing, by the way. He wrote it down. Did the whole thing just slide off? What the F just happened? Anyway, enough about that. Let me know if you have any questions. You okay? Come here. Oh, you want to stay there? All right, stay down there. He's like, no, I'll stay. There's a mess. I'll clean it up. Okay, yes, the question about the collective. So when I talk about the collective, or the light body collective, that means, good Lord, Birdie, that you wanted to be down. You're being very distracting. Come here and get out of the plant, for goodness sakes. Don't get pissy with me. Here, eat that. I just put new soil in these pots, and he's like taking all the little white things out. Like, the things that absorb water, he's like eating those. Okay, so the light body collective would be anybody who is like awoken and feels a service to others, is a healer, an artist, knows on, anybody in that realm, on their awakening or awakened journey, soul mission path, regardless of really where you are now. But if you have that understanding about yourself, then that's the light body collective. So I hope that answered your question. So in regards to portals and gates, I'll just lay down the quick facts and jump in if you have any questions. If not, we'll move on. So we have a gate every single month of the year. The most popular gate of the year is the Lions Gate in August, on August 8th, every single year. And what happens on that particular gate is there's an alignment between our galactic central sun, Sirius, and the pyramids in Giza. So I'll repeat that. On 8/8 of every single year, it's called the Lions Gate, and it's when our great central sun, the star Sirius, and Giza, the pyramids in Egypt, are all in direct alignment. Here's some, yeah, I'm getting a little wing action going on. So on that particular gate, and it started on 8/8/17, it was called the convergence portal. And that was when different layers, because we don't have just one linear time space thing. We have layers, and we have and then that's kind of multiplied out. And so what happened on 8/8/17 was there was the convergence. So there was that alignment that I just told you guys about, but there was also where these different I guess you could say dimensions or planes or universes, however you want to think about it, all came into alignment and then collapsed upon itself to create a whole new level in timelines that was of higher frequency. And then just a couple weeks later was the eclipse, the great North American eclipse, that really reset that timeline. And from that day forward, it was kind of like a slow push in the thrusters for even the next jump, which was 8/8/18. That was a really big one. That was this last gate. So every single month we have a gate. So we have 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, and 12, 12 being the very last gate of the year. They ramp up in kind of intensity and how things are going, and it takes this year to really shuffle and move. You imagine like all these ingredients from all the people and all the different and timelines and soul family and all this extraordinarily intricate web that happens, that is constantly in motion, that's being worked on by us as humans incarnate as we're conscious, but also us in the astral as we're in our, like, working in that subconscious space in the astral, depending on what we're doing at any given time. And then there's the divine, our divine counterparts that are working with us and really kind of, us to get things going. Now, they're not really controlling everything, or else it would just be really straightforward, right? We have choices and stuff to make all individually. So this is why it's so intricate and takes time. This is why it's so important to be aware and intentional when it comes to the power boost days like new moons, full moons, definitely eclipses, solstices, gates, and all that. So with that being said, we have 12 gates a year. We have specific gates that are intended to be more powerful than other ones, but just in different ways, depending on also what they're in alignment with, depending on that given month. If you have an eclipse coupled with the new moon, that's of course going to be, or a lunar eclipse or a solar eclipse. There's a lot of factors that are in play. Cool. I hope it doesn't hurt. He says, Sky says, my head feels like a burning spear is going down into it. So breathe into that. Okay, so then the portal lasts for 10 days. So we have kind of a takeoff day, and then we have 10 days, and then the landing day. And what that means is those 10 days was like on her engines, and she's pushed the thrusters, and we're propelled into a new place in space and time. It takes 10 full days together with all sorts of things happening and shifting and changing. And then we have our landing day, another day that tends to be pretty heavy and tiring. They tend to be, or sometimes just really jolting in events happening on those days, because it's a whole new timeline, it's a whole new set of circumstances. Some people just, boom, they're gone out of your life. Some people just come into your life on these very specific days. So that's a thing. We will experience, especially those of us that are more energetically tapped in or sensitive, experience more fluctuations in our body than the average person. Let's say the people that aren't in the collective, that are still fully like immersed and plugged in. Now, that's not to say that people that are asleep won't experience these things, but it's on a different level. It's like still, these things are just like they're shaking the bed like every single time. It can be intentional through these periods to the best of our ability. Pretty intense, but breathing into it is helping good. Feeling like I'm dreaming. That's nice. You feel so tired trying to stay awake. Important info coming from you. Aw. Well, you can, does it help to, if you close your eyes, will you go to sleep? Sometimes it's our eyes that get tired. I know that's how it is for me. But if you're tired, I mean, it's already, what time? Almost 11 o'clock for you. So that's pretty late. Dizzy and drowsy. Oh no. Well, that definitely will happen. It's like I said, yesterday was just the gate, the takeoff day at 4/4. Today is the new moon, so we're adding energies to that, really propelling us into this like new energy space and time, for us to get. What's a good word? Will feel really sleepy, really tired, especially these first couple days. So I would say really plan on like Saturday, Sunday to feel still that like groggy, extra tired. Like if you sit still and close your eyes, you can go to sleep kind of feeling. Even sore in your joints, sore in your lower back or your neck. You may get more headaches, but you'll also be experiencing more downloads, more high pitching and high pitched ringing and noises in your ears. Your eyes may be fuzzy or hard to focus. You may be more susceptible to your eyes having issues with looking at the telephone screen. Does anybody experience that? Like if you're looking at the telephone screen for too long, doing whatever, it really doesn't matter. That once you like stop looking at this, or you almost have to tell yourself, okay, I'm gonna need to stop, or else it'll just go on for too long. I feel like I'm expanding, coming out of my head. Aw, love you too. Being able to share time and space with y'all means so much to me. Oh, I'm glad. Ditto. By the way. All right, guys. So let me grab a couple things. Talk about today. I get really itchy in the back of my head when my third eye is like, it's like cranking up the dial on my third eye, like opening up to divine information, and it gets super chill. I think that I went over everything about that. My computer keeps buffering. Ugh. How annoying. Ow. Freaking. I didn't do that very well. Guided to, these are, oh, my, oh, I guess I have an unstable connection. I'm going to try that. What else is going? Hey, you know what? I think it might be my computer. And hi, Yasmin. Because I just got a thing pop up say that my computer was, I had an unstable connection. I'm not sure why, other than technical issues as usual. Yeah, that could be part of it too. So let me know if it keeps happening. All the cards we got from the 331 feed and live that I did, which, by the way, if you guys, if anybody didn't do the meditation, I highly recommend that. And you, there was a lot of channeling that I did. Gaia from Jesus and from the dragons, who don't talk often and much, and there was a good amount there. So if you have not re-listened to it or done the meditation or whatever, any of that combination, please, I'm sorry, babe. Please make it a point to do that. You'll be missing out if you don't, because like I said, I got information, or not information, I did channeling from them. And there was a lot. I need to finish listening to the whole thing, actually. So I'm right there. Pulled just go. Arcing. And this is Gaia's Dragon. Divine Union. I love this card so much. So again, with Divine Union, what's important to remember is this really speaks to your own connection with your highest self, your soul self, your origin self, your divine spark. However, and there's levels there. And it's kind of like, if you want to kind of look at it this way, just like a light on a dimmer switch would go from really not so bright, super, super bright. Let's say you had 1,000-watt bulb, okay? And you started off with like 20 watts. And then imagine you're looking at 20 watts, and then all of a sudden it goes boom to 1,000, super bright in your eyes. It really fucks with your head and your thought process and everything else, because it's just overwhelming to the senses, right? Starting on our spiritual journey, because you're alive and you have a soul. If you're a human who is alive and has a soul, at some level, even if as you tap in more, as you spend time in spaces like this, the light's getting brighter, the Damn it, I'm getting this connection is unstable thing. Because it could have fallen or gone, something could happen there. So I'm going to move. Sorry guys, the kitty wanted in. I'll be right there. Hi. Hi. Well, you get dirty today. Yeah. Ah. Ah. Okay. Well, of course, that's not helpful. Of course it is. Okay. Sorry that took so long, you guys. I had hey Jamie. Hi, thanks for saying hello. I hope you're still here. I had to go and move the I moved the Wi-Fi up and into a section that's hopefully better. It'll help. So anyway, welcome. I see 3 people, 3 likes. Who do we still have? Cool. Hi, thanks for joining. We have a couple of people that are pretty sleepy and tired, so I'm hoping that this is Ariel, by the way. He's a dove, and he's a ringneck dove, and he's absolutely beautiful, but he lost his head feathers because we're living in a place that has, we're living where there was mold. So I got sick, he got sick with that, and he has 1 leg, unrelated. Okay, so, oh, that's fun. Numbers. Who's been seeing crazy numbers lately? Like hardcore. I mean, I know that's an understatement. That is definitely an understatement. Crazy numbers lately. Lots of sequences, ton of 1, 2, 3, 4s, 6, 7, 8s, you know, those types of sequences, big time. Big time. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I am going to be going over a few of these that we got the other day, like I said, and then I'm going to pick a couple of new ones. It's very apropos that we got this card just the other day, and that is Moon Cycles with Haniel. And the card, just the basic card meaning, says, notice how the moon affects your energy and manifestations and capitalize upon these cycles. Being guided to read directly from the book on that one. So, whoops. I swear it's like I 24/7 have butterfingers. I try not to let it get to me. Like things just slipping, falling, like just. Okay, so she says, the full moon is a perfect time to release anything you're done with. The new moon is a time to focus on manifesting desires and intentions. And the evening before the full moon is an optimal time for healing and for recharging healing instruments such as crystals and oils. Spend time looking at the moon and notice how you feel in relationship to its cycles. As you discover the moon's connection with your vitality and moods, you'll be more in touch with its divine magic. And there's a little blurb here on working with Haniel. Haniel's aura is bluish white, like the full moon's glow. The crystal associated with Haniel is the moonstone, which has magical nurturing energy associated with it. Wear or hold a moonstone whenever you wish to feel close to Haniel. She will care for you with her nurturing mother energy and affect miracles in her with her love for you. So this would be a good time to start marking your calendar, if you're not already, with when these specific days are and what you're going to do on those days. Because I guarantee you the moon, absolutely. And there's different things that happen with the moon at different times. So it's really important to get in a really like cognizant, intentional serious relationship with that, like as serious as you follow any other schedule, like your favorite TV show or sports or, you know, who's whatever, I don't know. But for you to know this stuff, like, yeah, the full moon's on the 19th, the new moon's on the 5th, and you know, like you know it, because you got your pulse on the beat of this sort of thing, because you're learning, or you want to learn, or you have learned how it does matter. So, are you taking questions and readings? Well, it depends on the question. And as far as readings go, no, because that tends to go kind of long. So I'm not doing like personal readings right now. I don't have the time. When I do those, and I will be scheduling one in the next few days, but when I do those, they can be like, you know, 20 minutes, 30 minutes per person. And it's already, it's 7:02 in the Pacific. So it's already 11:02, at least Eastern. And I'm not sure what else, anywhere else. And we still have to go through this, and I'm doing a meditation tonight too. So as it is, we're already at almost an hour. So, but depending on what you mean about questions, I'm always taking questions. And if now is the time to discuss it, I will, because this is an open forum. This is where I want people to ask me questions. If you're unfamiliar with me, you're new to my channel, I'm a psychic, physical empath, incarnated angelic. I'm a naturally gifted energy healer. I'm a channel and a medium. I work with children and babies. I work in person or distance around the world, and animals as well. And I'm also an artist. And that's actually my first focus is the artist thing, and all this other stuff that I do is definitely part of my mission and a huge deal. But yeah, so that's just kind of how it's going right now. So yeah, ask away if you have a question about ascension or about what it is I am, or you have questions about yourself or symptoms or whatever, if you have any questions like that. Okay, moving on, guys. Let me see here. Hold on. Okay, these cards are popping out right now. So for a lot of people, we're going to be feeling a lot more of these intense ascension symptoms, especially in the third eye. And well, a lot of people are going to be just kind of chalking it off to spring and allergies, that sort of thing, unfortunately, but that's not what it's going to be. So please don't, trigger effect. And it's really releasement, because that is one of the cards that came up last time. And the end of a phase or situation, spiritual transformation, a time to move on. So these next, so April is really the end of physically doing like all like the deep cleaning stuff. We did a lot of that, of what's to come up. We've done a lot of that. Just on your own, through astral, through just whatever you've been doing, through the winter, the fall, the winter, and getting into the spring. So this month here is about balancing that out. So we have balance and we have release. So what do? We release and then we can get in balance. 13 and 14. We release and then we can get into balance. Remember your breathing. Archangel Raphael came out in a couple of cards in that reading the other day, which you want to, okay. You may see his little butt. I hope you don't mind. He came out in Angel Therapy, which was give your worries, concerns to the angels, to your angels, guardians, and breathe. And he popped in. I literally had these cards sitting out since the next day. All of these cards have been sitting on my table. I took video. I took some pictures, and it just didn't make it online. I will post though, because we're going over them again. And the whole thing going on with your sinuses, etc., because you are releasing so you can get it into balance. So in the coming months, you're more prepared for oh my goodness. Can I say he knows where he wants to be? Hope and I'll little pooper. For this type of energy going on in June. And this is like what might be going on in May. So in June or in April, we're releasing, we're healing, we're balancing out. Really? In May, we may be dealing with really sifting through some situations as far as come here. I will help you, and everybody will be happy. Open your head, your little face. There you go. You got it? You got it? That's what you want, right? You keep slipping. Yes. You got it? You're welcome. Sorry, guys. He wanted to... Don't fall again. That'll be your last time, dude. Seriously. Whoa. You can't watch the screen and sit up there at the same time. He's like, I want to see. I'm like, he's like trying to like... He's like literally like sitting there like trying to watch the screen. Oh my god. And he's like, okay, I can see from here. Oh my goodness. You could see from here too. Honestly. Okay, where was I? So May would be more of this kind of sifting through anything that's at odds with where you want to go, literally this business with like a whole bunch of... Now look at on top of each one of these swords, they're dragons. So you're definitely going to have, we all are, especially those of us who are really feel very, like really are aware and connected with the dragons. Please know that through now and through May, any conflicts, any shifts, any things that come up, any, like could be chaotic, it could be breakups, it could be real endings of relationships, it could be maybe even getting laid off or deciding to quit someplace, or really just kind of going, yeah, I can't be with this person, even if it's like on a friendship level or a family level. It could be romantic as well. It could be where something where it's kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out, either for you and or the other person. If that's the case, then most likely by May, this stuff is going to come to a head, because we're going to need to really once and for all, so we can get on with the rest of our year and and getting really ready for 2020, is not deal with that shit anymore. So that's going to be part of this whole cycle coming up, and especially starting now with the new moon. So again, we have this message: bountiful nature. Spend your time in nature, get inspired, get healed, get be guided by the likes of Michael, especially Raphael, and well, Gaia, of course, the Fae in general, and of course your highest soul self. When you are in nature, for you to be able to have your eyes, your energy, your ears be shown. Don't listen to music. You can record if you're out in nature, you know, video and stuff. But make it a point to use this time as healing and as inspirational, as well as specific, the same time or a different time for meditation, for research, for creating, writing, and really working on your abilities, psychic abilities. You're just, and what I mean by that could be not like, oh, I'm going to learn how to be more psychic. I mean, your ability to be telepathic and have a more of an open channel for yourself, for your tribe to reach you in different ways. That's the only place for it to really begin. It's not about psychic things you can do for other people at all. It's not, I need to learn how to do this thing psychically. It's about intentionally building your relationship with your spirit tribe. And again, spread your wings. Very much speaking to, don't do the holding back thing anymore. If you feel a surge, go for it. You know, talk about what, you know, your abilities are, what you do creatively. If you feel like you're being pulled to do more things, whether it's take more video, take more photos, post more online, really get into some creative aspect, especially if you can combine that with nature and healing of yourself, and you make yourself this really big priority. Start to really think about your energy, what you're consuming, what you're watching, what you're putting on your body, how you're preparing your food, who's in your environment, what your environment looks like. Is it easy on the eyes with light? Do you have nature in there? Are there different elements of nature in your environment, like earth and water and air and fire? If you have all these elements of nature in your environment, you'll feel better. And a lot of people don't really think about any of that stuff. So you want to have these different aspects in your environment. Make now the time to really take a good look at your environment where you spend your time. If it's a room in a house, if it's a house, whatever, extend this into your, you know, workspace. If you have a workspace outside of the home, think about what it all looks like and how it feels, and that goes for your, you know, everything. Where are the smells coming from? What are the smells? Are you using candles? Are you using oils? Are you using a diffuser? Are you using incense? Do you use anything? Getting, if you have the option, what are you putting on your body on a daily basis, from your face, your hair, your hands, your body, in the shower, out of the shower, all day long. What are you eating? Where's it coming from? What are you watching? What are you listening to? What are you seeing every day? Where are your eyes focused? Hi, Rashmi. Hi, Rashmi. Welcome. Start to get super conscious. And then when you go, what am I putting on my head in the shower every day? Look at the labels. Read what's in your shampoo, what's on your body wash. What kind of soap do you use? What's in your makeup, ladies? What are you putting on your hair to cover your grays? Maybe don't cover your grays anymore. They're beautiful. What are you putting in your pits by your lymph nodes? Nothing for me. I just use oils because I want to keep my physical body and my energetic body. I keep the unknowns, the additives, the shit that is put in all of everything to as much of a minimal as I can. Especially with what's going on my body and what's in my environment that I can control. I don't use a microwave. I only use pure oil and essential oil on my body. I don't use any lotions that aren't totally organic and very limited of ingredient. I don't dye my hair. I pretty much kind of stopped wearing nail polish just because I got even more. I could really feel it the smell of it when I would use nail polish. And I'm somebody who used to have acrylic nails for like ever, like decades. Crazy. So, you can take it to whatever level you're guided to, but just know the more you cut these things out, the higher your vibe will raise, the more healthy you'll become. And this goes double time for definitely animal products and meats and things like that. I'm actually not doing personal readings right now. Okay, so moving on. Any questions about any of that? Any questions or comments about any of that business? And then I'm going to pull at this point. We went over the different cards that we were meant to. From before, and I'm going to be pulling more Archangel cards. I was told 4, and then 2 more of the I don't need these books because we're not getting into the fairy right now. So that's a great question. So Janie asked, what essential oils do you use in place of deodorant? And I use mint, and I mix it with avocado oil. And avocado oil is like my favorite oil to put on my body after my shower. Like I said, I don't use pretty much anything else. And I use evening primrose oil on my face and on my hands and in my hair. But for the deodorant question, I get mint essential oil, and you can buy larger quantities than the little teeny tiny guys. You can buy larger quantities on places like eBay. I think they have the better deals than Amazon, but wherever you're guided. And I use it for several things. So this is my bottle of mint. It's really big, you can see. I don't know. But it's a decent amount of ounces. It's not like this. It's definitely got more of an earthy tinge or smell to it. It's not a sweet peppermint, but I I use it to clean pretty much everything. I don't use any cleaning products that are anything else, basically. I have my glass bottles. I have 3 glass bottles, and I use filtered water, and I put about a cap of my mint oil, and this stuff goes a long, long way. And this is the same stuff that I use for my deodorant. So what I do is I get a little cup and I put my avocado oil in there. And then, you know, depending on the strength, it can be a little, you'll definitely feel it. It'll feel cool and it'll feel like mint in your pits, which feels pretty good. You just don't want to put too much because it'll like burn, especially if you shave. But that definitely helped. Even if you get stinky and you're like, oh gosh, I've gotten stinky. And if you do get stinky, that's normal. We're meant to smell. We've been conditioned to not smell each other. And there's a difference between like the Dark Ages smelling, Victorian age smelling, and today's smelling. You know what I mean? Like we live in a different world now. And I think people have shut down their smells of each other. And this is where pheromones, like how we can like energetically, you know, it's important. But you want to not offend people either. You don't want to walk into a room and have people go, oh, they've arrived. And depending on, you know, the different aspects of what you may be doing, what's going on with your body and the environment, which you might have going on, you may get there a little sooner. And what I found is, if I can kind of smell it, I go, and you can even carry this with you. Just go into the bathroom, kind of roll it on. If you want to get a roller, you can just dab it on some cotton and it'll neutralize the smelly. I put that on like right after my shower, after I do the oils everywhere else. And it works great. I also, like I said, I have it in a spray bottle. I have just normal water, nothing else in it. I have, it's light infused and light charged, of course, but nothing else. And then I have rose water, because rose, it has the highest frequency of all the essential oils, and it'll raise your vibe super fast. So if you're going to invest any kind of real money in an essential oil, you want it for sure to be rose. And I have that in a spray bottle too. Let me get one of my spray bottles so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. So as most people know, it's better to use glass because you don't get leaching. So it's better to get glass for your food, for anything. So I got this set, clear, that pretty blue, the cobalt blue, that has my rose in it. And then this brown is the mint. And with the rose, you just spray this in the air, and it can be really light, just a little bit of rose. I spray it on myself. I'll spray it on my clothes, and you're not left smelling like a rose, but it has this effect on you energetically that's extraordinarily high vibe. So like I said, if you're going to invest any money into an essential oil, I would recommend rose. I'll show you the one I got, and I do really like it. I'll probably just get it again because I know that I like it. It's lasted a long time. It's super rich. It's another big bottle, and I think this was like $30. And this says Absolute Rose Oil, Premium Select. I got this on Amazon as well. And it smells amazing, and it dilutes really nicely for the diffuser, for yourself. If you want to put it in oil and put it on yourself, I do that a lot too because I absolutely love it. And in a spray bottle for your environment. So instead of Febreze, You got a glass bottle, you get some really good essential oil. I do that with the mint too. I spray this in the litter boxes. I spray my counters. For cleaning, the toilet, the oven, anything nasty. You get your mint oil, spray it on there, let it sit for a few minutes. It works just as good as any toxic brand of shit you're gonna buy in the store that's really bad for you and the environment, et cetera, et cetera. So I would definitely get on this if you're not on it already. And again, you can try the brands of deodorant that are natural, that don't have any toxic things in it. For your pits, it's a really big deal. I just find that they don't work really great, and they have really weird smells, and they make my pits feel weird. Just the ones that I've tried. So I tried the oil thing with the mint, and it works for me. So I like that. Okay, dokie. I hope I answered your question and then some. Oops, sorry, babe. Ding-a-ling. Hey. Hi, Kevin. Good. How are you, hon? So good to see you. Okay, I'm going to pull 4 more cards. Ask any questions. Now is the time, guys. We're going to do a few more cards, and then we're going to get into meditation. Oh, there we go. And one more. This one right here. Ooh. They love it when they have me do this. Creative writing with yours truly, Archangel Gabriel. Ever notice they have me pull these out of it happens. Make time to write down your thoughts in a journal or pen, an article, or book. Oh no, Birdie. Don't panic. You got it, babe. You got it. So, creative writing. Again, because the message is true to form with what we got to do to really expand. This helps, and it applies to remembering your dreams, channeling, getting psychic impressions, communing with your spirit tribe, being creative artistically. Sometimes that creative writing just means be creative. The key is to create. Me sending you this message over and over and over again. The key is to create. That's hilarious. Hi, Elizabeth. How are you? Welcome. You're very welcome for answering. No problem. So again, one of the biggest absolute aspects of your life is to get really wrap your everything, your brain, your heart, your energy around the fact that truly, I'm great. Thank you for asking. Truly, the key is to create. I got that message many, many years ago before I had any clues to what or who I am. And I didn't understand what it meant until, this last year and a half. And what it means is that the key to unlocking the answers of your life, your journey, your mission, the key to leveling up, the key to ascension, the key to connecting with your divine soul self and your counterparts, incarnate and otherwise, the key to all of it is to create, be creational, use the creativity that you have. You are a divine vessel and a channel for the divine, not just people like me, but every single person is for their own right. And if you're meant to be a messenger for other people, that's something else. Everybody is connected to that, and it's just about what you do on an intentional level to turn that light up as bright as possible to you know, love, to get to that place. It's kind of like when you choose your internet. Do you want good, better, best? Do you want it to be like super, 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 super fast? You know, you're gonna pay for that? Well, in this term, if of course you do. And the answer is you don't pay for that, but you invest in it with your time and your energy and your intention. You know, some of us are new to the fact that we are so psychic, and some of us, like yours truly, at a very young age, we're like, yeah, I kind of get things and know things on different levels than most people. And it doesn't matter where you are in that spectrum. Today is what matters, and what you're going to do about tomorrow as well. So remember, the key is to create. And it's not just about writing, it's about everything. Everything. And there isn't one person, and it doesn't matter on your skill level. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what it is that you create. But that when you're doing the creational thing that you enjoy doing, and sometimes, and it can totally change through time, and you can have different things that you're into create. You can like to make clothes, and like to paint pictures, and like to crochet, and like to cook, and like to work in the garden. It's all creational, all of it. As long as you're in that 0 point and you're not like focused elsewhere while you're creational, because then it's fragmented. As long as you're in that space, then are you okay, lovey? Then it counts. It's creation. Okay, so moving on. The other 3 cards that came up was career transition, and this is applicable to a lot of people. Changes in where you work. This could be suddenly. This could be, you know, you could see this on the horizon for a while kind of thing. Oh, lovey. Come here, babe. Are you getting tired? Come here, babe. Come here. Ah, bugs. I know, isn't he so cute? Somebody's thinking that. Oh, he's so cute. Thank you. He's my lovey-dovey bird, right? I know, that's you. See? Hi. Hi. Okay, career transition. This pertains to quite a few people. This is also, I'm being told, oh, that's the computer. What is that noise? I'm gonna put my computer on something because it's really hot, apparently. Give it some air. I'm gonna turn my heater off. Okay, that should help. So even if, like, there's going to be some unexpected transitions coming up for people career-wise. So even if for some people are like, yeah, I'm not going to do this, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do this more, or whatever that is, there could be another thing that comes into play. Something that you may have been, or may have interest in, but had no idea about, or didn't. Yeah, let's leave it at that. I'm actually, Elizabeth, I'm not pulling cards for people individually tonight. I am going to be doing that in the next couple. Probably tomorrow I'm going to schedule it, so it'll most likely be Sunday or Monday. So hopefully you can attend that, but tonight I'm actually not doing that. But thank you for asking. Not that I don't want to, it's really a time and energy situation. So the message here is your journey, your life is triggering, maybe not today or tomorrow, but in the next couple of months, changes in what you're going to be doing as far as how you spend your time. Even for those who don't work, because there are people who are retired, there are people who maybe are on disability of some sort, independently wealthy, let's say, maybe have been spending their time doing a certain thing. I don't know, whatever. There is going to be more of a purpose to how you spend your time, whether that means making money or just donating time. I see for some people, or both, that sort of thing. Okay. And then, clairaudience. So a few days ago, we got clairvoyance. Let me refresh memories. We got clairvoyance. And that was with Raziel. I am helping your spiritual sight to awaken fully so you can clearly see heavenly love. That's talking about more your connection with clearly see heavenly love means so you can better clearly hear us giving you messages. Clairaudience is along the same lines, but you're going to be, for some of you, not all of you, but for some people, it says, notice the loving guidance you hear inside your mind and from other people. So number one, hear inside your mind. What this means, if this is new to you, that you're getting impressions and ideas almost like it's coming from outside of yourself. It's definitely not yours. That's clairaudience. It might even feel like it sounds like a voice, or, an actual, like you can hear it, not out here, but in there, but in a different way than it's your own thought. It's not you. It's completely different. You could hear it inside your mind. So that's going to be triggered more, especially I'm being told for some people, and if you're already experiencing this, it'll ramp up right around and in between the 22nd and the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th of this month. That's when we have the Perseids meteor shower and a lot of not the Perseids, the Lyrids meteor shower. And we have a lot of enlightenment energies coming in at that time. And that's right after the full moon. So it goes full moon, Lyrids, meteor shower, just like boom, boom. Okay, and then last but not least, with Jeremiel life review, and that is take inventory of your life and resolve to change or heal anything that is unbalanced. And I'm hearing for some people, this could very simply be your life is too serious. You don't have enough fun. There's not enough social aspects. You're spending too much time by yourself. You have a regimented schedule that really kind of cuts out anything fun. And really, there's no more excuses for that. It really is time. So have more fun. If it's just, okay, I'm going to start going on a hike at, Meetup, and see what's in my area that I may be into. And maybe I'll go. Maybe I'll rope my friend or my brother or sister or neighbor or whomever to maybe go with me. Maybe I'll be brave enough to go by myself. Whatever that is, think about what aspects or different things you can do in your life that it pertains to being more out in the world about who you are and about connecting with other people. As well as most likely in the last few weeks, if not longer, there's been certain themes, I said that weird, themes that have come up as far as maybe past hurts, situations, abandonments, betrayals, if you will, things not working out with other people, maybe issues from your childhood, maybe it's abuses, maybe it's traumatic events, different things that may be still kind of rearing its ugly head and having an effect on you energetically, holding you back, maybe keeping you in fear from branching out, reaching out, this sort of thing. So you want to balance that again, release and receive and get in balance. So this process needs to happen. If you think about most things in creation, pretty much everything in creation has some level of process to it. There's an evolution, and this is something that really needs to happen right now. Okay, any questions about any of that stuff? Make sure I'm still in live chat. Yes. We're at 132.46 with 5 people, 5 likes. Thank you so much. We went through all of the new cards. Being creative, career transition or different aspects of that, clairaudience, and life review. So get real with you, okay? Nobody else is going to answer these questions for you, except for you. As to, what that might mean. And if you really want, and if you're like, no, I'm really kind of confused, well, ask those questions. And if you really want further, deeper guidance, then schedule a session with me and we'll go there on a personal level. That's what I'm here for. Now we're going to get into the Dragon Fae. We already got Divine Union, or sorry, Gaia's Dragon with Divine Union. We got that for the 331, which is what a lot of this was part of. But now we're going to get 2 more cards. The Morrigan, take action. And the Lovers. Love each other. Well, that's nice. 747. Karen says, wow, what you just said resonates so much of what I'm going through and what my son is going through. Aw. We're both making changes in our lives. Awesome. Well, I'm glad that it resonates. Take action. I have a feeling this will too. And a lot of what we've been talking about is taking action, right? Taking action. We're not doing the hermit thing anymore. We're in this mode of sifting through things and making things the way that we need them to be. Card number 22. The Morrigan. My son has joined a meetup group today. Ah! That's awesome. I love it. That's great. Okay, so the Morrigan, take action, like join a meetup group. Here we go. The Morrigan speaks. I see now that events are moving extremely fast. This is a time of rapid change and creation. So rapid that you may wish to slow down just a little. However, I say to you clearly that the time to act is now. And that procrastination and hesitation are your enemies at this time. I can lead you forward through this time and help you pick your way through the minefield before you. This is a time of testing and darkness, but through this, you will grow strong. Be aware. If you have resisted your abilities or felt blocked in terms of following your life path, These changes will take place very rapidly because they have been waiting for a signal to be able to come in, and they are working hard with you so you do not have to endure a long, drawn out process of change. That's what all of this is about. The more tuned in you are to the help that is there for you, the better your choices are, the better you are in every aspect, with every foot forward you place down. You know, like that's the point. Truly, you are ready. Take flight with me and know that taking your own path seriously, like I said earlier, taking your own path seriously and acting now with deep integrity is the way for you, is a way for justice to reach you. Justice. So what is that? What is that really? I'm going to read that again. Take flight with me and know that taking your own path seriously and acting now with deep integrity is a way for justice to reach you. So you have a very powerful hand in balancing out past events for justice. Justice is about making right. Do not give into panic and do not run. Now is the time. If not now, when? You have already tortured yourself in 1,000 ways with your thoughts. You cannot avoid change. Each day your cells renew, and all you have to do is breathe in and out for this process to take place. Oh, baby. Come here, Levy. He never falls this much. Come here. Why are you on the edge? You okay? Sorry, guys. You are confusing stasis with safety. There is nothing to fear. There is everything to gain. And a lot of people really do this. They turn their head away from changing things because it's comfortable, even if that's a state of stasis, and that doesn't work anyway. So it's important to not confuse that. As we pass through the wild dark of the wood and emerge on the other side. Charge. So yeah, wow. It's a really, really, really intense, awesome, powerful, motivational message, is it not? So about the Morrigan. The Morrigan is an ancient dragon phase Celtic goddess of death and change. She not only gave warriors premonitions of their passing so they could make preparations, she eased them through their passage to the other side. Thus, she rules transitions in our lives. Not simply the ones from this life to the next, but the ones that take us into the unknown through our fear and into the alchemy of magic, where we are able to show who we truly are. A triple dragon fate goddess, she is fierce, fair, and utterly without malice. She is, however, a straightforward and sometimes abrupt teacher and guide. Be strong and be prepared for deep change when she makes an appearance. Do not go into fear at these words. Let your courage feel inspired and know that destiny has given you an opportunity to be the courageous being of action that you truly are. Now, if that doesn't fire you up, I don't know what will. I truly do not know what will fire you up if you're not hearing these words and feeling them and getting all tingly. because it is absolutely in total alignment with everything else that we've been getting lately, and really truly where our focus needs to be. We need to put ourselves first. We need to make that connection our priority. We need to be really serious about it. And the more serious you are about it, what's really interesting is the more seriously you take it, the more fun you'll have. I promise you. Because the more magic that's in your life, the more fun you have. So that's for sure, you know? So it's not all about like, oh, I got to be serious, you know? It's take it seriously, but know through that, you're going to have a lot of fun because things will just pop in ways that are so synchronistic and in such alignment with truly who and where you are and need to go, that you'll just be buzzing with that all the time. So any of the holding back or the fear of that or the unknown of that, of your own abilities, like we talked about before, you know, a lot of us are fearful of the unknown. We're fearful of our own divinity, of our own essence of who we really are and what that really means and how that's going to project out and how is that going to change us, and are we going to change? Are we going to be somebody different? I don't want to be somebody different. Well, I kind of do, but I don't want to totally. And, you know, so all this kind of business goes on when truly the fact of the matter is you just come into greater alignment with who you truly are, as long as you're not holding back anymore. You can't be 1 foot in and 1 foot out. You know what I mean? You can't be like, yes, and I'm a little scared of that. Like you can have that like anxiety about, oh, what's going to happen? But be of the mindset that there's nothing to fear, because you wouldn't be taken there or guided there if there was anything for you that wasn't in direct proportion and alignment with where you needed to be. And if you're of the mindset of thinking positively about situations, and putting forth your energy in every facet of that, then there really truly isn't anything to fear, you know, because you're going through the emotions. Okay, I see things popping up here. Let's see where we are. Kilo Guide 863. Am I looking at an angel? I am and oh, that's funny. I actually am an angelic. That's funny. Yes, you are. You're feeling tingly. Good. Yeah, people get really tingly around here. You might feel tingly at the top of your head, the palms of your hand. You might feel your heart chakra start to activate. We are working with the Dragon Fae right now, and they are very warm and tingly, and kind of you might start to feel kind of a denseness. Sometimes when they come in and around in your environment, it sometimes even feels like you've changed in altitude, like the air's gotten thinner, but truly it's just like the air is denser in your environment, so you might have to just breathe a little deeper. You might get tinkling in the back of on your back by your shoulder blades. That happens as well. You remind me of my dead aunt. Aw, honey, I'm sorry. I mean, when I hear people missing other people a lot, the first thing I feel is how wonderful to have had somebody in your life that you miss so much like that. You know what I mean? And my second thought is that she's readily available for you to connect to. So it's kind of like boom, boom. Like you miss her off, but you can have her even though she's not here in the physical. You can connect with her. But I love that. And that makes me tingle right here. Yes, my son is going to court Monday to petition to get his life back so that his ACT team and guardian can no longer control and dictate his life. They are trying to send him backwards. Well, he's fully supported in that and with you and your energy as well. So, you know, there's only positive things that are going to happen with that. He really needed to go through that journey to fight for that. Because it's only when you have a fight in you to really change something dramatic in your life that it's actually going to happen. You can't have any kind of passivity in it. You know what I mean? So sometimes things kind of get a little harder and we have to really kind of put on our shit kickers, you know what I mean? Or what are they called? And like strap on our big boy boots and put on our big boy pants and, you know, be like, all right, I guess I'm going to battle because it's that important to me. And that's when shit gets done in your life. That's when you realize how powerful, how fired up and how you can make shit happen. A lot of times we need to go through those journeys, you know? Rondon, number 1, Dominos manager. Do you believe in love at first sight? I just fell in love with you. Oh, that's adorable. I believe in soul connections at in instant, and that's what love at first sight is. It's a remembrances on a soul-based level. Oh, that's my kitty. Hold on, guys. So yes, I kind of do. Do I think that maybe I could take my clothes off? Oh, maybe I should read down here. Okay, guys. Oh my goodness. We're being naughty. Naughty. Yeah, subscribe and hit that like button. Why the hell not? You guys are funny. Okay, so did I read all that? Yes, I did. Okay, I'm going to continue, and then we're going to finish with the Morgan. Divinatory meanings. A turning point in your life demands action on your behalf, and backing down or avoidance is not the answer. The Morgan calls on you to take action and face your fears. This way, your transformation will be one which gives you great strength and wisdom. Feeling frightened, alone, and hesitant will only lead you astray. Follow her guidance. Know that she will walk forward with you and assist you in uncovering strengths you never believed you had. Draw strong boundaries and claim your space. She can signify transitions and rites of passage, birth, death, or motion. So like I was just saying, you can definitely connect. Working with the Morgan, face trouble rather than turning away. So don't be in denial about situations that need your attention. Confront injustice and change the rules by which you have felt bound. Break free from stagnating jobs and pursuits. Relationships that offer no life source. So again, sifting through the things that are in your life that need to go. Cross over into a more spiritual path and learn to work with your strengths and your own ability to create deep change. Losing fear of your own power, invoking natural laws, knowing you have been acting in integrity. And finally, mediumship. So anybody here present now or in the future, you may be getting into more of your mediumship abilities. And what that means is you're somebody who can communicate with those who have crossed over from the physical plane and be a liaison, a messenger between the living and those who have crossed over. That's what a medium is. Okay, and then the Lovers. Are we still being naughty? Apparently. Yeah. Okay. The Lovers. love each other. You guys are going to love this. Card number 3, the lovers love each other. The lovers speak. Passionate love seems to be the realm of fairy tales and romantic epics, but it truly is a part of your life and being too. Know that when you draw this card, you are a beautiful being worthy of bliss, romance, and adoration. There is a god and a goddess for everyone, and you are about to discover that for yourself. Know that within you is everything you need to draw to you perfect love and perfect trust. Know that physical and soul passion can be ignited. Asking is the beginning. Your search for soulmate is over, because with you now is the truth that by believing in your true nature, the passionate and romantic being that you are drawing to you the one who will adore you. Be quiet and still and believe. Sensual delight, physical ecstasy, and bliss are yours. I'm going to skip down to divinatory meanings and working with the lovers. Their history is one through through their souls and being together and incarnating and going through trials and tribulations and working with the dragon fae. And I'm not going to get into all of that right now, but I'm going to go down to divinatory meanings. Your relationship needs tending, do all things that live. It could be time to make a romantic gesture, to love another as you wish to be loved, to understand that love cannot flourish when there is mistrust and anxiety. You may be despairing that your relationship may never match your dreams. Please know that your true love lies within your own willingness to believe that you too can experience passionate love, and that you are well worthy of its ecstasies. No matter your belief about your age, your health, your beauty, you are beloved. You are a beloved one. The dragon fae know this. Now they ask you to know this too. Create self-loving moments in your day. Oh, this is working with the lovers. Create self-loving moments in your day. Allow yourself to feel loved. Feel how loved you are by the dragon fae and by the entire consciousness of all that is, and offer to yourself gestures and small acts of kindness that will further allow and attract passionate love into your life. Know that sensuality and physical union and bliss are birthrights, and that you deserve these experiences now. Allow any feelings of need to fall away and replace them with a deep knowing that you are worthy of love. So aside from this talking about romantic relationships specifically, what I'm hearing with this is, again, like I was talking about before, that like self-love thing, really making yourself the priority and what's going on with you and your spirituality and your evolution and your transitions forward. Again, aside from what that may mean on a romantic level, that until you do those things, you're still working on those things until you do have that union with another. Willow. So Willow says, I would like to be able to communicate with animals that have passed and with my current animals more, enhancing communication with my guides more too. They think I ignore them. Thank you, Willow. Okay, so a couple of pieces of advice I could offer to you, Willow, and to achieve this, what you're looking for in communicating more with the animals that have crossed over from your life and the ones that are with you, would be, for number one, the ones that are with you. In order to do this, start sending pictures and start, as you talk to them, sending images. And when I say send pictures, sorry, send images to them. Like, have the concept of your mind, like as you're talking to them, of what it is that they would be seeing or feeling or what you're doing. That helps communicate, that helps open up the telepathy between you and your animals and animals in general. Any animal that you may come across on the street, and dogs or cats or whatever. So sending visions of what you're looking to communicate, and don't make it too complicated at first. And this is a great way to just in general practice your telepathy and your psychic abilities. And when it comes to the ones that have crossed over, you can very specifically spend time in meditation calling forth that specific animal and just opening up a dialogue, asking them to come in and saying a few words. There really isn't any specific kind of thing that you need to do. Just do it and do it a few times, you know, and then you might start getting visions of that animal. If you start seeing things or remembering things suddenly or things like that, then most likely you've tapped in and they're there with you. And then you can start communicating, going back and forth. Okay, so there we have it. We have the cards from the 31st, and then we have the extra cards that we got today. The Morgan. What can I do with this? Oh, here we are. So time to take action and love each other as well. One will definitely lead to the other. And the card from a couple days ago, Gaia's Dragon with Divine Union. Okie dokie. You're welcome. Any questions? That actually makes sense to what I've got going on here? Never know. Maybe. Chances are probably likely no. But any other? Can guides get impatient? Have better aim? I don't know what to tell you. Can guides get impatient? I wouldn't call it impatient. No, because that's a human attribute. That's a human condition, impatience. Because those on the other side don't live in a time space like we do. And they see in so many different ways that we do. We have like it says 3-dimensional. We're in the fourth, or getting into the fifth, the fifth dimensions and stuff. Truth of the matter is we have one view, and that's out. What we try to do when we ascend and we go astral is to get more 360. They always have 360. So we tend to feel more pressure and overwhelmed with what may be coming and what we're not doing compared to either what you're getting or other people or whatever you may be comparing yourself to. And if you're feeling that kind of pressure, then maybe you're just getting a lot of information and you're kind of finding yourself in that like overwhelmed. Now I'm not doing anything because there's so much coming at me that it's overwhelming. And if you're feeling that, then I would try to just kind of compartmentalize a little bit of what you're getting in it. And also sometimes you need to let them know, like I asked to be able to communicate and hear you guys, because you have to understand they're like on 24/7 trying to get to you. So sometimes when you have a lot of that coming and you start to tune into all of that, it can be really overwhelming. You know what I mean? So imagine independently, they're coming at you, and then you start picking them all up at different times, but layered, and you're getting different types of messages at the same time? Can we tone it down? Or I need a day where we can just and they'll hear you and they'll act accordingly. But an impatience thing, or if you keep getting the same thing over and over again, then you can just acknowledge it. Like, yeah, I got that message and I'm going to work on that, or show me a different way to get it done. Or I need to understand this in a different way so I can better go with the guidance that you're trying to show me. Or is this the guidance that you're trying to show me? Or actively, you know, call somebody in to help sift it through. Well, then cover your keyboard, dude. I mean, come on. You knew? Okay. Can I explain astrals, please? Absolutely. It's a great question. Oh my goodness. Okay. So astrals. Astral projecting and astral meditation is when it's similar to dreaming in the sense that you're disconnecting your like visual cortex, your thought process in a very linear way, and not like alpha state of being, and you're moving into that theta. And when this happens, when it happens in your sleep and in your dream state, in your astral dreaming state, and your body relaxes, then your soul, that level of consciousness can reach the higher dimensions. And that's when people get all sorts of ideas and visions, and they astral travel, because you're disconnecting from your body. Now, astral meditation is very similar to that, although you're doing it on a much more conscious level, just normal meditating. When you astral project or quantum leap and do the kind of thing that I facilitate, you're doing the same thing that you do when you're sleeping and in your dream state. We are getting your body to a certain level. If you've done my meditations, you know we do certain things with our body, with our energy, so we can get to that more detached space. And then we'll just quantum leap to wherever it is that I'm guided to take you guys. And the reason why it works is because you have, how should I put this? When you're guided in this way, I'm going to speak to the astral meditation the way that I do it and what I know of it, because I help you get to a certain level, and then we kind of get fuzzy in our energy. We get really directional in what we're focusing on, and then we can tap into the higher dimensions. And literally there's that aspect of our consciousness connecting to our soul, because we have to understand we're like out of body. You're out of body. Same thing that you do when you're dreaming, you're an astral, you're out of your body. It's what happens when you wake up sometimes with that like that drop falling feeling, and your whole body vibrates. That's your soul kind of slamming back into your body quicker than the easy transition, because normally it's just really easy. You get back in your body, and then you'll wake up at some point after that. When you have that like big jolt, something happened to maybe on the physical level to startle you, and it was enough to wake you up. See, a lot of people, they'll have that sleep paralysis thing. That's what that is. They'll have different experiences. If you're getting pulled into a lower frequency, then that's when you have your nightmares and night terrors and that sort of thing. I went through a period like that many, many years ago. So a lot of us tend to go through these different things on an astral level, and it's really just kind of figuring it out. When we astral meditate, we're being really pinpoint in my spaceship with me. We have an idea maybe of like, or why we're there. But as I channel, and we go down and we start to do what we do in our meditation, which we'll be getting here to here soon, need to be filled with any of that until we're in the moment, which makes life really easy, much easier for me, because I don't have to think about it and I'm not thinking about it beforehand. Wherever I am guided to take you guys is where we go. And it's always somewhere really awesome. Or it's really heavy in the channeling and it's more about just being in a space and hearing the messages, which was a lot of what we did last time. So there was more of that. Okay. So any other questions, you guys, about this? Well, anything in regards to this whole thing? Especially we're going to be doing the astral here momentarily. Did I explain that okay? Does that make sense? And when we're doing that, we're really opened up with our third eye, so these visions, and we can see really where we're at and where we're being taken. When I'm in that astral space, and let's say I channel Jesus, a lot of people say, moments before he announced that he was there, I felt that energy. I knew his presence, and you're where you live and I'm where I live. And that comes to us at the same time. Why? Because channeling the voice or whatever is coming through me as a speaker box, let's say, but you're like present in audience and visually seeing whatever may be going on as well. And we've had all of that happen. So sometimes it's really quiet and we're in space and it's just low key, and sometimes there's a lot going on in these astral spaces, and a lot of that astral time can be one way or another. One thing that we did understand that people were experiencing is that the more visually intense it was harder for people to remember the messages. So a few months ago, they started not sending so many visuals for me to project out to you guys and for you guys to see, because in the moments you could remember what was being said, but once you went back into body and traveled back, a lot of that got forgotten, much like a dream state. So we got a little less intensive on the visuals, even though if you've done some of these meditations in these last couple months, you know that there's still a lot of visuals that you get. No, I do not choose who I channel. No, I don't. That's a really, really great question, Hello. She just asked, do you choose who you channel? And I don't. They basically show up and it'll be like just knowing a presence of who's there and ready to come in and talk. And there has been a couple times where it was, let's just say, uncomfortable for me. And I had the impression of who wanted to talk and who wanted to say what. And at first I kind of resisted and I said no. But that was, just a human moment, let's say, and they did end up speaking. So, but no, I don't get to say, well, today I want to channel Jesus. So Jesus come talk, or any of the archangels or the fae or whomever may come through, or any of that is not, I can say, I would like to hear from so-and-so, but I don't feel it's really my place to run the show, like it's not, like I say, it's not my party. I just host it. And whoever shows up and wants to be heard is open. So sometimes we have one, sometimes we have two or three. I really have no say in the matter. How long they talk, what they say, when they come in. Sometimes it's real quick and abrupt from one person to another. Sometimes it's a couple of seconds or minutes. None of it am I truly in control of. Yeah. So there we go. Have you ever channeled another person's guide? Yeah, I do that all the time. All the time. That's what I do with my divine soul guidance, is specifically channeling your guides, your personal spirit tribe, and getting their information for you. That's how I'm able to give you personal information, is by channeling anybody's guides on whomever they may be. You think they send, wait, what? I think they sent me a coin through, what does that mean? They sent you a coin through me. Yeah, what does that mean? I'm not following exactly. Birdie, you're such a good boy. I'm gonna go try to let my cat in real quick. Drop these are awesome questions, by the way. Drop any other questions or any other topics that you might want to get into either now or at some other time. We found a coin on our, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, we did that in our meditation. We found a coin in the river. Yes. That was really cool. See, like, I didn't know we were going to do that. I had no idea that was going to happen. That was freaking awesome. It was amazing. Has anybody felt the effects after that, when it's come to feeling a difference with you financially, monetarily, how you feel about money coming to you, anything like that? Has there been, I know I have ever since that. I felt a lot more healed, a lot more whole, a lot more easy to breathe, a lot more like I could breathe deeper after that astral, after that clearing and healing. And I recently had someone channel my guides, not going to lie and freak me out of it. They told me they told you they sent you the coin, and she has no idea. It's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. That's amazing. So that's just more validation, really, how that's all connected. So when you're working with a true messenger, they will get real messages and things will connect. So yeah, absolutely, that's awesome. So they're very connected. So they're validating what you've already done with them, and with the whole coin thing. And then having another person who doesn't know about any of that bring it up is just kind of reinforcing it. Nice. Is this happening again? Seriously? Would you stop that? There. Huh. That may sound more like if it's somebody that's, well, I mean, if you're talking about like guy, like, maybe that's a more of like a crossed over type of person that's been trying to get your attention and you're not picking up on it. When I talk about guides, I'm really speaking to like your divine soul tribe. And that could be, one and the same. I just want to make that clear distinction. If they said you're ignoring them, I mean, that's not a statement of like them being frustrated with you. That could be a very real statement. If they keep sending you messages and you're just choosing not to see them, you could be ignoring it and you could need to face that truth. But that's different than them being impatient with you. You know what I mean? Like, it's important to understand that distinction. And if there is any kind of entity that's impatient, that sounds more like human, like a human. Yeah, more of a like a crossover human. Does that make sense? If it was expressed with any kind of frustration, but that doesn't seem like, maybe it was interpreted as frustration. Yeah. So it's important to make those distinctions. Being frustrated with you and just saying you're ignoring me as somebody from the other side, there isn't really. I mean, that's not to say that if you're somebody really self-destructive, that your guides won't, feel heartache for you. That's just on a different level there. It's just because it's love, like they do. Angelics and guides and spirit guides definitely love us so much that when they see us ignoring or being in denial or being self-destructive or engaging in activities with people or ourselves that are destructive or aren't in alignment with our, true place, if you will, it's more of a like a because I love you so much kind of thing. So yeah, as was said about the Morrigan, be ready for some real decisive, clear, intense, no fucking around messages. And a lot of our divine counterparts are that way. Some are a lot more soft and fluffy in their messages and really there for us to sink into like a beautiful, comfy bed. And some of them are there to just kind of make us stand up and they're different. That's true. So I mean, we know when we hear the channelings from, let's say, Michael or Raphael or Gaia or Jesus or the dragons or different fae or the unicorn or, they all have a different kind of way that they speak and a vibe and words that they use and messages and that whole thing, just kind of like, we do too. If there are guides, there's no malice to it whatsoever, though. That's the difference between humans, and that's what makes our guides so great as beings to be close to, because there is no ulterior, unconditional, or anything but unconditional love motive to their energy coming to you, whereas people can tend to have more opinions, judgments, motives in your life and what you do in your life, right? So sure, you can take advice from other people and you should listen to people because messages come from people as well, but always it's an internal compass that you need to go by, and it's again that ding thing that you just kind of know, and the more you tune in, the quicker those questions will be answered as far as how things should play out or what you should do, what you should do. Now, one thing to keep in mind is to kind of let go of control when it comes to how things are to be or how the process is supposed to go or what you're supposed to be doing exactly, or your ideas of things. I'm speaking to everybody here, not just you, obviously. Because it's important to acknowledge that things are in play and to kind of let go of how it's to get done. And if roadblocks are coming up for things that you're having to deal with, or changes or whatever, try to get past being frustrated with anything like that may be holding you back, or an inconvenience, or whatever. Could be bureaucracy, it could be other people, it could be emergencies, it could be, all sorts of shit. And try to see these speed bumps and these changes and diverting maybe in your either the landscape in which you're treading, or the direction in which you're going, your plan. If you think, okay, I'm going to do this, and before I do this, I have to do this, and this, and the next thing you know, you're doing something completely different. And instead of being frustrated about being here instead of here, decide to see that as a necessary way to get to where you're going, instead of focusing on where you're not at, and see it as divine, your divine counterparts really doing things in order to have you go where you need to go and experience what you need to experience. So sometimes if you take a left instead of a right, and you have to recalculate, and you're going 5 minutes out of your way to get to some place that you've never been, and instead of like being like, and freaking out about it, as an example, just be like, okay, well, maybe on this route I'll see something that I wouldn't have seen, or maybe I'll miss some crazy ass going through an intersection if I was there. Maybe I would have ran into somebody I definitely don't want to be in contact with. You know what I mean? Just see those little hiccups and speed bumps and things that are in your way and are blocks as opportunities to experience your new trajectory 100%, instead of being someplace else and being frustrated about not being there. The more you do that, the easier you'll flow and get back on track, if that's where you're meant to be, or you'll be on a new track, be like, this was meant to be. You're welcome. Okay, so I'm going to leave this on here for a minute. I'm going to go hopefully bring my last cat in. It's very late. It's 8:38. 2 hours, 25 minutes into our feed. We have 6 people, 6 likes in the room. I love you all, perverts. Even you, nasty pervs. I will be back in just a minute, and I'll let my cat in. Punch in any questions if you have them. Try to keep them clean if you can control yourself. And when we get back, or in the meantime, set your space. We're going to be getting into meditation here in a few minutes. I will be starting a new feed for that, so we can have 2 separate feeds. So this one isn't super, super long, but I'm going to keep this up and running for the next few until I get back. Hopefully with good news about my cat. Okie dokie, guys. I called you a perv. You're hilarious. I know. I was only gone a minute. Ow! Oh, that hurt. Oh my goodness gracious. Holy moly Moses. Holy sh. Oh, look at who flew. What are you doing, love bugs? Come here. Okay. Okay, so we're still, she called me a perv. Alrighty. So we are going to at 2:29. We're gonna end this just about 2 hours, 30 minutes into the feed. We're gonna come back in about 5 to 10. Start a new feed for the meditation, and you are a little bit hungry, something with maybe some sugar, some carbs. I know I burn through a lot of it. I mean, I'm doing like astral travel and taking you guys along on channeling, but I think it's always good to have some energy on board. So I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna eat something real quick, get some fuel in my system, come back in about 10 minutes. Hopefully you guys will be here and join me for the new moon meditation. Okay. I love you. Thank you for being here, you guys. That includes everyone. And I appreciate your time and energy here in this space and contributing to it in a positive way. Thank you for also liking, sharing, and subscribing, for leaving comments, if you will, and coming back if you can. Infinite love and blessings. Don't forget the key is to create, and I love you already. I will see you soon, buddies. Back in a few. Bye.